Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-Unlimited, FAA Admin announces AAM SFAR at nbaa-bace. EVAS gains foothold in today's cockpits. Honeywell's Global Outlook sees higher bizjet demand. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm your host, Holland Lee. Let's get into today's stories. FAA Admin announces AAM SFAR at nbaa-bace. The long-awaited SFAR targeting the increasingly complex needs of the AAM movement has just seen the light of day thanks to FAA Administrator Whitaker, who showed up for nbaa, unlike at Oshkosh, and had the new rule in hand.
One of the things that is a key focus at this convention and has been a key focus at aviation events for some time is advanced air mobility and how close we're getting to actually seeing companies be certified. But I think at the same time we also recognize an aircraft being certified is one thing, but they need to be allowed to operate. And so we've been working with the FAA, and the FAA promised about a year and a half ago that we would see a special federal aviation regulation that would effectively open up and allow for operations in the United States. We're coming up on the period where the FAA said that they would be able to deliver the SFAR.
Yeah.
Can you tell us where we are on that?
Yeah, that's a softball question because it's here. It is now a final rule. And I think there are a couple important things you said. One is you can't just have a new aircraft certified and not have a way of operating it as it's intended. And I think a lot of credit goes to our head of safety, David Bolter, who had the vision to work that blueprint 16 months ago on how to integrate this technology. What is the ecosystem you need for that? And I don't know when the last time we went from an idea to a final rule in 16 months. So that's, for those not familiar, that is light speed for rulemaking. So this is exciting. This is a new type, a new category of aircraft. So for the last 80 years, we've had two types, rotor and fixed wing. We now have a third type. So that it's really an extraordinary moment. And this rule will create an operating environment so these companies can figure out how to train pilots, they can figure out how to operate. It has a performance-based approach, so you can look at fuel reserves and other things with this new technology, account for safety facets to the operation. So it's designed to be very flexible. We're really excited about that.
After the break, Navy identifies crew killed in jet crash.
Well, hello, fellow pilot. I'm John King.
And I'm Martha King.
You know, we've all had our flying lives disrupted lately.
Well, King Schools is here to help you stay up to date with courses that you can access on your desktop, iPad, or iPhone. If you'd like a refresher or just want to expand your aviation horizons, we have a course for you.
So head over to kingschools.com/Rusty today for details.
Looking for a new generation of proven and efficient aviation power plants that boast modern engineering, electronic ignition, and both direct and gear drive systems? With 100 horsepower to 240 horsepower, the Skyline and Redline engines offer uncommon value in an overpriced industry. Whether you are looking for fixed wing or rotor, MW Fly Americas has been established to service the American market with dedication and expertise. MWFlyAmericas.com.
Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. Navy identifies crew killed in jet crash. The U.S. Navy recently identified the 2 crew members killed in an EA-18G Growler crash near Washington's Mount Rainier. Aerial search crews discovered the crash site at around 12:30 p.m. on October 16th. It is 6,000 feet up a remote area located nearly 175 miles south of the jet's base at Naval Air Station Whidbey Island. The 2 crew members killed were Naval Flight Officers Lieutenant Commander Lindsay P. Evans and Naval Aviator Lieutenant Serena N. Wileman. They were both 31 years old from California. Social media platforms remove war drone factory accounts. Several social media outlets, including Google, Meta, and TikTok, have removed the accounts of a Russian drone manufacturer. An advanced press investigation accused the plant of recruiting young women to build drones for the Ukrainian war effort. Posts were similarly removed on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. The facility is located in the Alabuga Special Economic Zone, which falls under U.S. and British jurisdiction. Its social media post advertised the Alabuga Start program, promising foreign women a plane ticket to Russia and $500 per month of work. DJI files lawsuit against U.S. DoD. DJI Technologies recently opened a lawsuit against the U.S. Department of Defense. The drone maker states that it was given, quote, no alternative after the U.S. added it to the Chinese military-industrial complex companies list. The China-based technology company controls around 90% of the public drone market, including the DJI Mavic Pro and the recently introduced Air 3S, with applications ranging from travel photography to television. Daher announces 5-blade prop for Kodiak 100 float operations. Daher announced at the 2024 nbaa-bace the latest enhancements to its Kodiak 100 aircraft by incorporating Hartzell Propeller's 5-blade composite prop with a pitch latch function for water operations. Daher introduced the 5-blade prop on the Kodiak 100s in 2023, but the pitch latch function is new and enables the float-equipped aircraft to be more easily maneuvered on water with better control and safety, because the prop can be set in a fine pitch position during engine startup and shutdown. That's it for today's trip around the patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. EVAS gains foothold in today's cockpits. EVAS stands for Emergency Vision Assurance System and is a device that provides a clear space of air for pilots to see flight instruments and out the window in case of in-flight smoke. It's self-contained, easy to install, and recommended by the FAA and other aviation authorities. Join us at nbaa as we test the system out.
Chris, opening day, nbaa 2024. Interesting floor today, but it's nice to see some folks that have been here year after year and doing some really intriguing work, especially in the safety arena, which for some reason or another I found in aviation is the hardest thing to sell above all. Don't ask me why, but I'm glad you're still at it. Tell me what's happening with EVAS right now.
Sure. So EVAS has been around for quite some time, since the early 90s. EVAS is the Emergency Vision Assurance System. So we're in the business of cockpit smoke displacement. So if there's ever a blinding smoke event, what a pilot will tell you is one of their worst fears is ever having smoke, fire, fumes in their aircraft, specifically if it invades the cockpit, right? So EVAS displaces that smoke and gives them a clear tunnel of vision so they can see their instrument panel and their flight path. So there's a common misconception that just putting on your oxygen mask and your goggles is going to still enable you to fly the airplane. So we put them in this smoke demonstrator, fill it with smoke, and right away they'll have their mask on, that, wow, I can't see the instrument panel, can't see the flight path. We put one of my colleagues back there to see if they can see them, and they can't. And then they actually press their face up against EVAS with their mask on, and they have their vision tunnel that they can see their primary instruments and their flight path, and they're back in their world. They can fly the airplane again, get it on the ground, obviously, because that's going to be the goal during an emergency. I think the awareness of smoke and fumes in the cockpit has become very sensitive for sure. We've heard of some major commercial carriers that have had some major events that have been truthfully scary. So I think the people are starting to be more aware of it. So.
After these messages, Honeywell's Global Outlook sees higher business jet demand.
For over 30 years, the massive Sport Plane Resource Guide has provided expert, credible information, evaluations, and critical analysis of all that the sport aviation world has to offer. The all-new digital Sport Plane Resource Guide is coming with extensive multimedia features that are constantly updated, an even more comprehensive online guide to all things sport aviation. Available soon. www.sportplane.com.
Backcountry flying to us is our playground. For us, it's how we access the things we like to do. It's just our lifestyle. We exclusively use the Hartzell Voyager prop, and it's proved to be just a great combination for what we do. What it's doing, it's helping us all have better performing airplanes. Man, it feels a lot better clearing trees by 50 feet versus 20 feet. I don't ever see myself not flying.
The legendary BD4C program is building an exciting future for those who want a rugged four-seat family flyer with a proven history. The SureWings program produces a complete kit and builder assist program that gives you everything you need to be flying a BD4CS in record time. For conventional kit builders, BD Aviation has parts, partial kits, and full kits for the 190-mile-per-hour BD4C that has logged thousands of hours. Visit SureWings.com and BDAviation.com for more details.
Welcome back. Honeywell's Global Outlook sees higher business jet demand. Honeywell has released its 3030 annual Global Business Aviation Outlook with insights into current trends and longer-term developments as determined by extensive surveys of business aviation operators around the world. Honeywell survey results forecast 8,500 new business jets worth about $280 billion will be delivered over the next decade. This represents an increase in value from last year's forecast. The 5-year new jet purchase plans of business aviation operators is about the same as last year, indicating that the demand for new aircraft is stabilizing above the levels seen before the pandemic. Key findings in the Honeywell Outlook include 1. New business jet deliveries in 2025 are expected to be 12% higher than in 2024. 2. 5-year purchase plans for new biz jets are comparable with last year's plans. 3. More than 90% of those surveyed expect to fly more or about the same next year as in 2024. 4. Large jets are expected to account for about 2/3 of all expenditures over the next 5 years. And 5. 82% of respondents say performance is the highest criteria for new jets, while cost was second at 60%. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.